Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Rise and Shine with Coach Lacey. I apologize that I am not live today. I was having some technical difficulties. So, in order not to waste time, I went ahead to pre-record this so that we can just be off to the races for our Monday. Well, this morning we're going to shake off the morning Monday blues and get our head right and start the week like we actually mean it. I don't know about you guys, but I had quite a weekend that did not go as planned. And it's got me thinking, it had me thinking about my message for today. So I want you to grab your coffee or your tea if you haven't already. Grab your coffee. Got my coffee cup here with my nice flourish cup from my mentorship at my church. Really love that. Take a deep breath. Anchor in. All right. So today I want to touch on something that's pretty huge in your life for having a realization early on. I wish I would have realized this earlier. And as I was sitting in the ER with my husband this weekend, um, I I realized that life is so much bigger than ourselves. And what I mean by that will, if you really truly embody this and understand, it will change your energy and it will change your mindset and it will really change your life if you let it. Because if you start to lead with the mindset of um, getting out of yourself and getting out of the what about me mode, things will start to change for you in a more positive way. And what I mean by that is, um, oftentimes we spend a lot of time in our life in main character syndrome, right? Like a lot of us think that life is all about us, and we spend our days thinking about what do we want? What about me? And we're in the what about me mode. When something happens good to someone else, it's, well, what about me? Why didn't that happen to me? Or when something bad happens and we aren't getting what we want, we think, what about me? Why not me? Why didn't, why is this happening to me? And I found myself this weekend having a what about me moment, and I quickly changed my attitude when the realization of my husband's state of health um kicked in. And I'll set the context here. I'm going to take a little sip. Mm. So this weekend, my husband and I were supposed to go to his Valentine's weekend, and we were supposed to attend a marriage conference at our church. We were very excited about this. We went to the first one they had. This was the second one, the follow-up, and we were really excited because they had skipped it for a few years to go this year and see our friends and go to our church. And we just love going and being with people. So we were both really excited to do this. And on Friday night, the conference was Friday and Saturday. And Friday night, we were at the market selling our freshies. We were having a business date, and it was a Valentine's market. And my husband and I went and opted to skip the first night of the conference so we could have a business date together at Pybus and sell our handmade artisan air fresheners. And it was lovely. It was such a cool experience. And there was fiddlers and there was good food and lots of people dancing. It was just really cool. Saw lots of friends, had tons of people come and support us. It was such a beautiful night. And we got home and we're hanging out, watching TV. And all of a sudden, he starts to get really cold and like shivering. And then his cyclical vomiting starts and he's off to the races because my husband he's an Afghanistan war veteran. He has PTSD, has some health issues. And one of those health issues is cyclical vomiting syndrome. It's something we've dealt with for quite a while. And this is pretty par for the course. So I know the routine. It's a lot of, bringing the garbage and making sure he doesn't puke all over and washing towels and going to the shower. There's like a routine we have, right? And so it, it dawned on me that you don't get to go to this conference. And my thought was, what about me? My first thing is, oh, it's Valentine's Day, and um I start getting kind of annoyed that we're not going to the conference. But then it gets worse, and so we wake up the next day and I need to take him to the hospital. And I take him to the hospital, and I had this, and it was the day, it was February 15th. And sitting in the hospital on February 15th for me is really difficult. It's a really, really, really difficult moment. And my uncle on February 15th of 2019 uh, passed away unexpected, tragically, and suddenly in the hospital from a medication that they had given him incorrectly. My Uncle Mike. And that's a story for another day. But to be in the hospital on February 15th with my husband was a harrowing moment. And then to be in the hospital the following day because it continued made that even still more difficult. And I found in that time that I was not any longer thinking, what about me? All I could think of was, what about my husband? And how can I help him? And what can I do to get him the help he needs? Even if just sitting with him. So, and I getting outside myself and then thanking the staff at the ER for dealing with us twice and having, I'm going to let you guys know that I'm pre-recording because uh, anyways, so sorry about that. So I had to really think about what was going on there, and I wanted to thank the staff for being so good to us, because so oftentimes I go in there angry and I'm like, gosh, this consulate's health, it makes me really upset to go to the hospital at all. And it makes me upset to be having to go through this rigmarole that we have oftentimes, because we have to do this whole thing of going to Confluence, and then sometimes we go over to Spokane, and sometimes we go over to Leavenworth. It's a lot. And so because we have different specialists, sometimes we have to go to Seattle, and it's a lot. And so I just wanted to take a moment to thank the staff, because sometimes I'm a lot to deal with, right? So what's my point here? My point is, when life is heavy, it's easy to spiral, and when we feel stuck and when things aren't going the way that we want to go, it's really easy to spiral in the what about me's, into this what about me mode, right? Like, why isn't anybody, checking on me? Or why am I not further along? Or why am I not able to go do this thing? Or why is no one supporting me the way that I support them? I had a moment at Pybus where, like, you know, I had done all this stuff, and for all the work I've done, I didn't have the turnout that I was hoping. Granted, the people that supported me, I am so thankful for. But there's this moment of, I've spent so much time, energy, and money on my business and all these things, just overall, and the return on my investment isn't always, what I would want it to be. And it's kind of a long journey, and that can be hard. And so sometimes I think to myself, why is no one supporting me like I support them? Right? Does this sound familiar? We have all been there, right? We have all been there. But let me tell you what, staying in that mindset is going to keep you stuck. It will keep you stuck. Les Brown has this saying about getting in the car and parking when you are feeling grief or just stuck in life. You get in your car and you park and you don't move. And we get into this moment where we get in the car and we park. It keeps us stuck. So I am encouraging you to put your car in reverse and then drive. And we're going to drive forward with a better way of getting out of yourself and helping someone else. Look, man, life is not about us. Life is so much bigger than us. There's this huge focus on what can I manifest and what can I create for me. And, we need to put the oxygen mask on ourselves in order to help others. But the focus on keeping that oxygen mask and not moving, right? Some people put the oxygen mask on and just stay in their seat and wait, you know, help others. Like help others as much as your oxygen mask can extend. Like go put other masks on others, like help others. Get outside yourself. It's not about you. It's not about how much money you can make. It's not about how many trips you can take. It's not about your status on the internet. It's not about how cool you are or how many Prada bags you have or what shoes you got or, how much knowledge you have or how smarter you are than someone else. It's not about that, right? Guys, it's not. It's really not. So the fastest way that we can get outside of ourselves and get unstuck just in general and shift our energy, motion causes emotion. And when you move, it changes your emotions, right? So get out of yourself and help someone else and move that way. Instead of asking, what about me and why me? How can I encourage someone today? Where can I show up and be of value? How can I serve? How can I serve? Every morning I pray, can Lord bring someone in my way that I can be a light in their life. I just want to be a light in people's life. How can I be a light? How can I take this? How can I be a light? How can you be a light, right? How can you be a light in someone's life? That is what matters. How can I be the kind of friend, mentor, or light that I wish I had? How can I be that person for someone else? Because here's the thing, you guys, what you give, you receive, right? If it's again, if you're like, still, what about me? If you give, you will get it back. When you pour into others, your cup starts to fill. When you lift someone up, you rise too. When you turn that light on, you get the benefit as well of the light that's on in the room. So be the light. So turn that fucking light on. Turn that light on. Okay? So how can we do that daily? How can we show up in the world and be a light to others? We can recognize when they're hurting and just sit with them. It's okay to just sit and be silent. Just sit with people, right? How can I help you? Give them a compliment. I like your bag. If you don't know what to do to be a light in the world, if you're working like a retail job, take notice of the things that you like about other people and compliment them. That's what I used to do when I worked at Quiznos when I was like 20 years old. Take notice of, I still do it, but it's a little less now because I'm looking more to serve, right? But a good word, give a good word. You know, what's your gift? What's your gift and how can that be a gift to others, right? But we can't pour into others if our cup is completely empty and our wellness foundations are not set. If our wellness foundations are not set and we are depleted, we're not going to be able to have the energy to pour into other people. So this is your daily reminder, your second reminder this morning, because I always tag you guys. And if you are not in my group, Rise and Shine with Morning Moon on Facebook, please join. You will find it. Just search it in the comments. There is a daily checklist that populates every morning at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which will help you anchor into your wellness, your daily foundations of wellness. Your daily foundations of wellness, including getting enough rest, shifting your mindset by reading 10 pages of a self-development book or Bible study to help nourish your mind, journaling. You want to have your journal, your wins, your gratitude, your areas of growth, what's going on in your day. It changes, it will change over the years, and it's great to watch those things. Movement, you want to move your body. You want to move your body because motion changes emotion. So if you're stuck, you need to move. Shake off that funk and get moving, okay? Nutrition. clean foods. Avoid eating processed foods. That screws your mind up. Screws your mind up, screws your body up, screws your heart up, screws it all up. Excuse me, energetically, foods are the foods that we eat, we are consuming that energy. So if you're eating foods that have dead energy or bad energy, like abused animals, I'm not saying go vegetarian because that like vegan is like one of the worst diets ever. But making sure to be conscious of where your meat comes from and making sure that it's organic or free range or local is really important. Plus, one of the biggest health epidemics in our nation is microplastics. We have about a spoonful of microplastics in our brain. 8 grams of microplastics cause Alzheimer's. We each have about 3 grams of microplastics. Meat is wrapped in microplastic. Wrapped in plastic, and they eat a lot of things that have plastic in them. So you want to be very conscious about where you're choosing your meat. So that can also not only helps with all sorts of stuff, but takes down that plastic consumption. That's a little off in the weeds there. So you want to, again, when we're talking about nutrition, if you are counting your macros, strive for 100 grams of protein or more, especially if you're trying to lose weight or have body recomp. Hydration, half a gallon of water a day. You need to drink some water. Water makes you useful. Drink some water. Give water to others. Offer water. Always, if you don't know what to do for people, offer them a glass of water because water is always great. And then finally, skincare. Did you wash your face? Skincare keeps us glowing, keeps us beautiful. Our skin is the largest organ of our body. We want to keep this healthy. So, you guys, how can you get outside yourself this week and help others? If you need some clarity, if you're feeling stuck, I'm doing free hot seat coaching live inside this group. If you want in, apply at my website, www.lacyjwatson.com. If you're watching a replay on YouTube or TikTok, you can feel free to go to my group and you can apply there as well. So I want you guys to think about every time you start thinking, what about me? What about me? Me, 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 me. Flip that script. Who can I help? How can I be of service today? Okay. Feeling lonely? Reach out to somebody else. Reach out. Miss someone? Let them know. Let them know. Feeling stuck? Go encourage someone. You feel unseen? Show up for someone else. You have the internet. You're watching me right here. All it takes is a moment. All it takes is a moment, a second to check in. So check in. You'll be amazed at what happens when you make this shift. Check in with other people. How do you want to show up in the world? Be a light in the life. Okay? Be a light in this life. Right? So go out there, be a light, be of service to others. Get outside yourself. It's not all about you. There's so much more. There's so much more. So much more to life than you. Okay? It's not all about you. So be the person that you wish someone was for you and watch how your whole world starts to change and shift and grow. And with that, I will see you tomorrow morning. Sorry I wasn't able to go live. I will figure this out eventually. Facebook is a pain in the back. All right. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Ciao.